It's that time of year, ladies and gentlemen. A wonderful time full of hot chocolate, seasonal depression, cramming for tests and a rushing to meet end-of-the-year deadlines, and of course, can't forget, celebrating our favorite holidays have slowly been warped from what they were originally conceived to be, now heavily marketed by a variety of corporations to sell a plethora of products to consumers in what is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Yes, Christmas. Christmas is one of the world's largest holidays, and whether you celebrate it or not, you have to admit that motherfuckers love to profit off that shit. Like, look at this. That's a lot of money, and when money is involved, people are willing to do some wacky shit to get their fair slice of that dough. So for my first ever holiday special, I thought I'd try to find one of the weirdest Christmas movies out there and examine what monstrosity certain production companies whipped up over the years. So sit back and relax, everyone, as we enjoy together Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. Right out of the gate, we hear a banger of a fucking intro song, and that's how you know this is about to be an all-time classic. That mistletoe, ho ho ho, on Christmas, hey, for Santa Claus. Our introduction is one of the most batshit insane things I could have ever expected. It starts up with a close-up of a television news report taking place in the North Pole before panning out to two kids in front of a TV sitting on their bed dressed up like fucking a therapy gecko. And the girl on the right she looks like she's seen some shit. That's all I'm saying. There's absolutely no explanation for this at this time, which is just a perfect setup for the rest of the movie. A lot of foreshadowing keeps tension very high as you are confused on what the fuck is even going on. But we just completely gloss over this for now, so we'll come back to it, I guess. And again, with no explanation, it immediately sends us back to in the news report where a reporter is on the verge of dying from fucking hypothermia in the North Pole, where it is, and I quote, 91 degrees below zero. And this motherfucker is dressed like he's about to go to a Thanksgiving Day parade or like a fucking football game. And I don't care if it's like Celsius or Fahrenheit. That's some cold shit out there. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, George Stephanopoulos barges into Santa's workshop and starts interviewing the one and only Santa Claus. For some reason, Mrs. Claus decides to hop in as well, and for some reason cannot contain herself because she's on television. I'm not sure if this was like a huge deal back in the day, but... Hello there! Like, you're Mrs. Claus. In this universe, you're a celebrity, but you're losing your shit because you're on the news. I don't know. My friend got on the news after getting hit by a distracted driver. I'm just saying, you're not nearly as special as you think, Mrs. Claus.
Wondering, what is this strange little creature over here?
Oh, Winky made that. That's his idea of a Martian.
A Martian?
Foreshadowing. Immediately after this scene, we get another unexplained cut to what I guess are our Martians in this movie. One of them is sleeping on the floor, and apparently on Mars, sleep isn't tolerated as this dude, who I will later give like 50 different names, pulls out an antenna and zaps his homeboy awake with the power of 5G. After torturing his indentured servant, the Green Giant storms into the room of the children at the beginning of the movie, which we finally get some resolution on, and demands they go to sleep and stop watching Earth programs.
I told you not to watch those silly Earth programs.
I'd also like to point out in the scene that the children have absolutely no concept of what a dog is.
Mama, what is a dog?
But they speak English just like us and apparently spend all day watching our so-called Earth programs. So, I don't know. I know I'm reading too far into this, but if you know English and you watch our media, shouldn't you know what a fucking dog is? Anyway, Mars Vader is not only their dad, but the leader of the whole planet of Mars, and fed up with his kids for not eating their green bean pills, decides to seek out Gandalf the Green. Gandalf instructs Admiral Dad that Christmas is the reason children are obsessed with Earth programs, aka they won't get off their damned phones, or I guess that's the 1960s equivalent.
Our electronic teaching machines are attached to their brains while they are in their cradles.
Man, shut your bitch.
And with his centuries of wisdom says, yeah, man, just get your own Santa, so they don't gotta look at their TVs, which is the most ass-backwards advice I have ever heard, but, alright. But instead of, making their own Santa Claus, they decide, full-out criminal retribution is the correct way to right this wrong and figured they need to kidnap Earth's Santa Claus. So it's settled, the Martians decide to hop in their whip and fly to Earth for a quick heist when suddenly the good old US of A picks up a signal in orbit and assumes because it's the 1960s that it could only be those gosh darned commies. After landing on Earth, the Martians stumble across two kids.
You have a seat right over there.
Asshole alien of the group believes that they need to just murder these children, but like the kind, caring souls they are, the group decides to only kidnap them and hold them hostage for now. From these children, the Martians learn that Santa Claus is in the North Pole, and so zippity-zap, their asses are now in the freezing tundra with their two new miniature servants. After landing, the children escape the ship into what I may remind you to be is negative 90-degree weather. And if that isn't bad enough, they're also almost mauled alive by a polar bear and crushed to death by a Martian robot before Lieutenant Lettuce saves them from the evil mustached Martian. Content now that they've found the children, the boys roll up to Santa's workshop to do a bit of buffoonery. Santa is quite welcome to these literal extraterrestrial beings. That is before they put his elfin wife into cryostasis, likely later leading to total organ failure. Now officially kidnapped, Santa is taken on board of the ship with the children. Everyone's just vibing until, oh no, the radar jammer, whatever the fuck it is, isn't working, and the mustached Martian quickly blames the children.
They have a secret device, and his name is Billy Foster.
Naturally, after imprisoning them, Mustache Man offers them a tour of the spaceship before forcing them to the airlock chamber and pulling a conveniently time-activated lever to suck them out into the vacuum of space for a violently gruesome death. But, thankfully, because this kid wants to be an astronaut, they're able to squeeze out of this tube, even though it's clearly unopened. And why does this 10-year-old know about alien technology? Anyways, Mr. Boss Alien finds out and curb stomps Luigi in the most insanely well choreographed action scene I've seen since John Wick.
You wish you were floating around out there in space. Santa Claus, you're all right. I thought you would.
You just got pranked, bro.
After this, they apparently keep the mustache dude captive for, attempted murder. But you only get maybe one scene of this before it immediately jumps back to Mars, where Captain Dad introduces his children to Earth children as well as Santa Claus. And apparently, in Mars houses, there's absolutely no need for oxygen, but I'm fairly certain that at this point in history, most people didn't know anything about space, so I guess it really doesn't matter. I'm just being a picky asshole. And yeah, the Martian children, Bill, Bryn, and Smorgnog love Santa, and everyone is laughing. And then Santa realizes, oh shit, they are not going to take me back to Earth. They're going to work me to death in a workshop similar to factory conditions in certain 2022 Earth countries. In the background of all this, Space Stalin is launching a revenge plot in a cave to overthrow the Martian government. Or no, actually, just destroy Santa's workshop. Okay. Back at the workshop they made for Santa, he's forced to press buttons before giving a nice critique of the consequences of automation. Now, it takes personal joy and personality out of creation due to high quotas needing to be made for greedy corporations. And then he says, oh, ho, ho, my finger is tired. But I guess that's fine as he's perfectly content now being their slave. So, I thought Santa was going to go fucking Rambo on the Martians. So why is he being so nice? I don't know. It's called Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. But I don't see any axe murdering going on. I don't know. Overnight, silly comic relief Martian slips into Santa's suit and goes down to the toy factory to continue his work for the motherland. Unfortunately, at the same time, Stalin is launching a full-scale invasion of 3 people on the toy factory who end up capturing Martian Claus, but refuse to acknowledge that he has a giant green head, unlike the other Santa Claus. In the morning, everyone is left looking for Comic Relief Man, but go down to the factory to continue work because, eat, sleep, work, repeat, I guess. They quickly realize their machine is broken and somehow piece together the exact events of the previous nights, likely and effect of the mind-expanding green bean food pills they've been eating. With almost perfect timing, evil Luigi walks down to the factory to inform Corporal Cabbage of his plan and to initiate a hostage negotiation for Phony Claus. Little do Mr. Antagonist and his little sidekick know, but they actually have the wrong Santa Claus, bazinga bitch! Borat is captured and thrown into a closet before, whoa, another crazy action scene, and then Admiral Asparagus is knocked down in the brawl. But don't worry, Santa Claus uses his mysterious powers to cause the intruders to telepathically overdose on LSD, leading to a scene where a grown man is subdued by bubbles and wind-up toys. And yay, bad guys captured. Realizing the Earth creatures are homesick, the Martians send them back to Earth completely unaccompanied, I guess, and appoint Comic Relief Man to be the new Santa Claus, and yay, end of the movie. Fantastic film, what can I say? I am still very unsure how this movie was ever conceived. Not only that, but had money poured into it and was eventually created, but I'm very glad that it was. I'm a bit disappointed. It's called Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, but at what point in this movie does he conquer the Martians? If anything, he gets conquered by the Martians, and because it's a holiday movie, he is sympathetically let go from what they were planning to be a lifetime of slavery. I don't know, I was expecting him to go full out genocide on a whole alien planet or defend his workshop from the aliens, but none of that happened at all. If I were to give Santa Claus Conquers the Martians a score out of 10, I would give it a
91
out of 10. I truly believe this is what Martin Scorsese means when he talks about real cinema. I'm extremely grateful to have shared this experience with you guys this holiday season, and hope you have a very happy holidays, whatever you end up celebrating. A big shout out to my biggest supporters over on Patreon, Mads, Sherry, Commander Cha-Cha, and Dave the Unknown. If you'd like to join these beautiful guys and girls, the link to my Patreon is down in the description and is now available for only $3 a month. Even though the $5 tier is still available, they both have the same exact benefits, but for whatever reason, these goons have decided to say subscribe to the $5 tier, even though I've let them know. I asked a few of them and they said they just like the content. I don't know. I appreciate it either way, though. Thank you all for tuning in to this year's Christmas special. I appreciate the opportunity you guys have given me this year, and I hope you have a happy holidays, and take care.